All right, should we just start with that then,
Yes.
or should we still wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We're ready.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. If you want to share your screen or anything you want to do, whatever works.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
All right. All right, you see my screen?
Yep, we see it.
All right. Okay. First few questions. So Trian 3D is the tool that you been using for a while, or you just purchased it recently?
Recently.
It's just about it.
Okay. It's what?
I think they just started using it. So
Yeah. Studies it.
yeah.
So we can talk.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's only a few tools out there. There aren't many, and they're all a bit complicated. But I will go through some of the process here.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to load up Mock Earth Ground. I'm going to go through some of the pieces of the terrain and through the process. How familiar are you with GIS data, elevation features?
Yes. Yep. Fairly familiar. Yes.
All right, fairly familiar.
Yep.
All right, and what tools you use? QGIS, ArcGIS, Global Mapper.
What
Global Mapper?
you use Global Mapper?
Yeah.
Okay, Global Mapper.
Okay, and you use that for features or imagery, elevation?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes to all.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm going to go through a bunch of different pieces on how it all comes together and what is important for which pieces. All right, so you can see my screen now, right?
Yep, we got it.
Okay, so I'm first going to start with Kilo 2. So Camp Pendleton Kilo 2, and talk a little bit about this.
Yep. You're good. You're good, Peter. Continue when you're ready. They're just talking amongst themselves. So.
Okay. All right. All right. So obviously we have data for the whole world, which is imagery and elevation, and we're using OpenStreetMap data for features from the world. But this particular site here was hand modeled, right? And by hand modeled, what I mean in this case, because this is all GIS data. So we basically took the existing elevation data, and then we can add extra paint in specific areas if we want more, detailed craters and ditches and so forth. We also painted in, we took the original imagery data, but then we could clean it up. We could paint out anything, right? But the buildings themselves were hand placed here. So we looked at the imagery. The imagery started with these buildings at different places here. And then using VR Forces, we placed props and then save them out as a shape file.
Okay.
So
Let me one second, Peter. So the way he placed the buildings is the way I placed them. So I added a new prop, placed it, saved the terrain, reloaded the terrain, and then that's how he placed the building, the exact same way.
But how we can flatten the terrain to put the building, and how to make a road.
Well, the building. Yep. So the building
details bumping.
Yeah, the building itself has an extension that goes beyond 0.
Yeah.
So when you place it, it actually protrudes into the ground, and so it like the terrain doesn't have to be flat. You just have to build the building correctly. Yeah. So Peter's showing there in wireframe, see how the building is extended underground.
Yeah, see, first of all, but because first of all, we have to process the terrain first
Yes.
to make some kind of flat.
Yes.
Even you can see the road here, it is quite flat. So
Yeah. So that
how you can make
so
the flat.
so his question is, Peter, let's say you get elevation terrain that's not completely flat, like the roads aren't quite right.
Yeah.
How do you modify that?
All right. So you can obviously do stuff in Global Mapper if you wanted to, and actually process that way. But my recommendation is in the earth file configuration that we have, there's a block you can tell it to flatten roads. Okay. So I'm going to show you. So in our current terrain, mock earth ground, all these roads are flattened dynamically. All right, so this is taking the OpenStreetMap data and it's using that data, and you have it configured here how wide to flatten the road. So I can actually go through that process.
This shows how he can make from OpenStreetMap road data, and then he can make.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the OpenStreetMap data again is a shape file that you add to the .earth file, right?
Yeah.
And then he's going to show you where there's a flag that says flatten the roads. So he's opening that earth file up.
Yeah.
So the earth file calls on the shape file, which is basically segments that is imported, and then it's just basically a flag that he's got set in.
Lần trước là mình làm một cái road mình đưa vào thì nó có phạt luôn gì ạ? Nó có vô được phạt luôn. Nó vẫn có vô số 8 thôi. Nhưng mà nó làm phạt cái đường, tức là cái mình là đường của nó có thể phạt cái nhá. Nhưng mà
Okay. So see he's
tự tưởng luôn đi. Đây là đường với cái file hay làm này được trước đưa vào.
All right, so Peter is now pointing to include elevation road flattening .osm.
Okay, elevation.
Yep.
Yeah. Also can road data to flatten dataset.
Yes.
So this loading. So this is the block that takes the OSM street map feature data, and then you configure here how much you want. Here is buffering 16 meters. So it's taking the line and buffering it 8 meters to the right and 8 meters to the left, and then it's flat, and that's making that flat, and then there's a fall off.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, and all of these, this is reading the attributes off the road and setting, like the 16 meters is the default, but if it comes across a primary road, it will do 14. If it comes across a path, it'll be 2, or a footway, or a residential road, it will be 9. So they're of different widths, they are flattened.
Yes.
So my recommendation is, if you look at this earth file, if you go through mock earth ground, find this block. Basically, if you're using, you just have to change your source data here. If you want to use OpenStreetMap data, this is already configured. This exact same block will flatten all your OpenStreetMap data. So the elevation data that we have here is not flattened, right? But we in the earth file, we're setting that block and we're flattening it. And matter of fact, let me see if I can do this here.
Oh, right. Peter's going to do some magic.
So if you want to, you can do some debugging in here. And one of the things I'm going to suggest here is, hopefully this works. If you go to OSG Earth and you go to map layers, I'm going to sort this data here. All right. This is looking at all the blocks that are getting loaded. All right. So all the feature, the imagery, elevation. If you're in here and let's say you have Let's see what this does. Yeah, road surface. All right, that's taking off the, you can see this road path is laid on top of the imagery. And if I turn that off and turn that on, that's just drawing the imagery there. If I turn off the world high res imagery, this turns off all the imagery for the world. Right. So there's nice debugging tools in here. Turn these- All right. And so one of these blocks in here for elevation is going to be elevation road flattening. Right? So if we're looking at this in here, if we want to see what the elevation looks like without the road flattening, turn that off.
Yeah.
So this data is actually pretty good, pretty high res, but it's clearly not flat.
Yes.
What resolution is this data? Do you know, Peter?
I think it's 2 meters or so.
Wow. Okay.
So the
But
flattened
when,
data it is produced automatically
Correct.
like shapefile.
Yes. So the shape basically follows the middle of the road, and then Peter in the file
Yeah.
pointed out the
So
8 by 8 or 14 by 14,
Okay.
depending on the road type.
Yeah.
And then what it does is it basically says, well, this side's gonna drop down and this is gonna level out because of how the terrain is. So
Yes.
and then it blends into the original elevation data.
Yeah.
That looks good, Peter.
Mhm.
all right, if we go,
Is that Florida you were going to?
Florida's too flat.
You have to go home.
All right, here. So we go over here somewhere. I want to get somewhere that's got mountains. Just looks like mountains. So we don't have high res data here. Right, I'm going to assume that there's probably some roads around here. So if we watch the elevation data come in, we can see it won't be very high res. It's still loading.
So what do you think this is? 20 meter, something like
15 meter. We have the elevation data, sorry, no, 30 meter for the world.
30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the world.
Okay.
The imagery is 15 meters per pixel.
Okay.
Yes.
So this should be 30 meters.
Mhm.
So again, not very high res, and there should probably be some roads in here somewhere. There's a bridge, there's a road.
Yeah. It's
So this road here, this is using OpenStreetMap data to draw these roads,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
As you can see,
Flattened.
they're not flattened, and with
Yeah.
the resolution's not very good. So if I just turn the road flattening on now,
Uh-huh.
it'll automatically flatten all of them.
That looks good. So what about what about the file type that you use? So this is definitely like dynamic terrain. This has got roads that are made with shape files. What about an area like Ala Moana? Is that OpenFlight that you made that from?
Yes.
As
Yes.
how you create, how you can create a river or a lake using shapefile.
Sorry, a river and a lake.
Yeah, a river and lake using a shapefile. How would you create a river or a lake?
Okay, so our current so this is back in Sion, Switzerland. All right, so in here we have a few things.
Oh, you got that marsh area, right?
Yeah, well, that too. I'm doing. This is a river.
Okay.
So in the OpenStreetMap data, they have linears and areas feature data. right? Very much like shapefiles. And they're flagged as a lake or a pond. And when we read that, we attribute, I'm not sure it's actually working in this version. Yeah, I have the latest version, it's not working. But in here, basically, we end up doing ripples. Let me see if I have another version.
It's a terrain. It is in high res or resolution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's just saying that this version, it may not be working, but OSG
Of
Earth,
the river.
yeah, OpenStreetMaps has data at shapefiles. It just may not work in that particular version. So he's going to try to find a version that it works in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So,
can see
okay,
it's a
so-
really good one. For the splash screen, you see,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, so all of
really a
this-
good one. This is painting or the software
Mm.
splash screen
All that is
capture from
data,
Data.
visual data,
no
imagery.
editing for effect, no
no,
painting.
no shapefiles whatsoever to make that.
Uh,
So what he's trying to show you is the shapefile plus the imagery.
the splash screen, it is really good looking. You see the image.
Mhm. So yeah, he just needs to find that data.
Yeah.
I'm reloading here. Let me go back to Switzerland.
Ở đây, sang bên này để biết sĩ ăn đâu. No, this way he will disconnect it.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Yep. So this definitely has the data in it. There you go.
So you use texture. Use texture only.
Yes, but thank you. Well, it's modifying the satellite imagery with a texture that
Yeah.
looks like water. So it defines it by using a shapefile. So
Okay, so. All right, so Alex, I just want to clarify.
yeah,
So,
go ahead, bud.
Feature data, so a shapefile is feature data, right? OpenStreetMap is not necessarily a shapefile, but they're both feature data.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure there's no confusion between the two, right? So OpenStreetMap data, you can export to a shapefile and load it as well. So they're like the same thing, so you're not wrong. But I just want to clarify that
Yep.
There's a little distinction.
Yep.
And normally when people do it locally, they're using a shapefile. But this is basically vector feature on OpenStreetMap.
So can you show us how to make a bumping picture for water space?
So he's wanting if you could just go through the configuration of how you import that featured data and make it look like that.
Look like the
And I believe in Hanoi that we do have that already there.
no.
That like we have
No picture, it is flat. Last time you saw us, it is flat. No effect.
no water on it. Okay.
No water.
Okay.
It only reflection only.
Okay.
No waving like that.
No waves. Okay. Got it. Hanoi is north. Right there in that. Yep, you're pointing right at it in the center of your screen. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about.
Yeah. Automatically is a feature.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is all OpenStreetMap data and it's coming in and we're applying this effect. This is a shader effect to all the feature data coming across from OpenStreetMap, which is for the whole world. So the one thing that this doesn't do is it's not being flattened. So this affects this river here, right? You will notice at some point if you're going to the mountains, let's say, right, you can see that because of the elevation data
Okay. Yeah.
is not flat, the
Yes.
river is not flat,
Yes.
right? And the road flattening stuff that we have will work on rivers, but not on big rivers. So any river that is like a road, like if this is a river like this, it can be flattened. But because it's a big aerial feature, you can see the big shape. You can't just flatten the whole thing. I mean, you can flatten the whole thing.
Is
then
is that defined by an area rather than a segment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a big area here versus the linear segments here, right? So this is all linear data here, and then this is a big area, and you can see the actual shape of that.
Got it.
Right. So if you had better elevation data, again, here we have 30-meter elevation data. If you had better elevation data, then it's more likely going to be flattened. And if you go down to 1-meter elevation data, then it's going to be flatter. It's going to be more correct to the actual elevation data.
Awesome.
Right. So I do want to mention here that this effect that we have is a linear. I mean, this is an effect on 2D lakes and rivers, right? There's nothing underneath this. So if you put an entity down here, it's not going to go through because it's just flat. But when you're out into the ocean, this is our dynamic ocean, and this
It's wave.
has underwater, right?
Yeah. That actually looks nice.
Right.
So ocean, it is so left zero.
Yeah. Ocean is literally a giant sphere that encapsulates the earth, and it has like you can adjust the height of it. But he's just pointing out that there's no underwater
ocean and the lake.
Yeah, the lake and the ocean are handled completely differently. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can raise the ocean, but it's not going to work. It's going to start having problems with
Peter, what version is this top of tree that you're using?
This is top of tree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually IPv22. So.
Okay. So
this here is the 2D effect.
So you guys currently don't have this version. This is what he's working at.
Right. But the latest release should have all of this water effects in it already.
Yes. Yeah, I believe we see that. Yep.
So when you release this version?
This probably won't be released until August or October. What do you think, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some time.
Okay. So we still can get this update?
Yeah.
So we have one year maintenance? Yeah,
if you have maintenance, you'll be able to download this and update. Well, what else do you guys want to go to? Did you want to talk about Ala Moana? Do you want to talk about like other?
No. For here, I think can we talk more about vegetation layer?
Yep. So he wants to know about the vegetation layer and
the terrain texture and
the
terrain texture and
so the terrain texture, the vegetation, how that's defined or how it can be edited.
very detailed. You see,
Yes.
detailed texture.
Yep. And the data there, that's just, that beautiful high-res imagery that's
As in here, detailed texture, not for the elevation.
All right, so there's detail splatting effect here, the ground textures. Right? Okay, all right. So what there is, so we have imagery, elevation, and we have land cover data. The land cover data is raster, just like
Yep. They're just having a conversation. Yeah, keep going, Peter.
okay. The land cover data is basically just pixels in the raster, and the pixels give it a value, and that value says this is grass. This can be another kind of water. This can be forest. It can be a different kind of forest. So the land cover data specifies all that information. And in the OSG Earth configuration, when we tell it to load the raster for the land cover, it automatically figures out.
Yep. They're following along, and they're just having a discussion.
Okay.
Yep. So you're good.
The land cover data specifies all of that, so that when you go, and the vegetation automatically gets mapped to that. So this area over here, is forested area, and this area over here is grassy area. And then we modulate that with the roads that come in. So any textures around the roads, we add the fact that, if you draw the road, then it masks out the vegetation, so the vegetation doesn't cross the road. The land cover the road can be added to the land cover as an asphalt type or a dirt type as well. And so that's what's happening in here and why it's changing here, because this is adding to the land cover. So the best way to actually show this as an example is there should be a train that's come with the version of Forces or Vantage that you have.
Yep.
And it's called test. Sorry, give me a minute. Example. So there's a train called example composed terrain.mtf. All right. If you load this one, it is a local example of all the pieces that puts together an earth file. All right. And the nice thing about this one is it's very simple and it's local data. So if you want to try it out and point to your own feature data, your own shape files, this is all configured here.
Okay.
So I will pull that up.
Excellent.
Otherwise, the earth file is very complicated, very complex. So if you go here to train data, train configuration, there is example composed terrain here. There's an earth file here. So if I open this one in Notepad, all right, this is the whole terrain.
Wow.
Okay, and each one of these is an XML file. So each one of these has more information, of course, but they're nicely contained. So if I look at the elevation one, all right, it's very simple. It's pointing to one elevation, and this is local. So you can load this data directly up into QGIS or Global Mapper, and you can look at that data, right? If you want to look at imagery, so if I want to go to, where is it? So they have bridges, the water textures here. So just on the water textures here, this is configuring the effect of the shimmering specular effects. I'm not sure if it's doing the ripples or not.
You see here only specular for the reflection. But how about can we change the texture of the water surface and how to make the bumping, the waving?
So he's
Yeah.
asked. Did you hear that, Peter?
Yeah,
Specular
so-
with reflection only.
He's going to answer.
Yeah, we need to cross-reference the Earth file. I'm not sure the composed terrain example has been configured to do that. Yeah, so this
Yeah.
has just the specular effect, but we
Okay.
need to add that. But adding that is not hard. It's just, if you look at the block from the Earth file and you compare it to the composed terrain, then
Này, nó chỉ ra một cái phản xạ.
So this terrain, so I just want to talk a little bit more about vegetation. So you can see the vegetation is coming in here, right? And go back to the Earth file here. This is the here. All right, so we have the imagery, elevation, the roads coming in, buildings, houses, turbines, trees. These are point trees. These are the speed trees coming in. It's not the vegetation. OSG Earth. Sorry. Biome. So the vegetation is coming in from this composed terrain biome.config. All right, so if I open this file up here, so this one is more complex because there are a lot of pieces in here. Okay, but what's important is, I think if you go over to this file, coverage presets, open file here. All right, so the land cover, let me you use Global Mapper, right? Actually, I'm going to use QGIS here.
You use Global Mapper, right? You guys use Global Mapper?
Yes.
Okay, yes, that's a yes.
I don't know how to make the land cover.
All right, I'm not sure I have that installed. I'm just going to use QGIS.
Yeah, he's just going to use this. So I gave
it also.
Oh yeah, and I sent you a link to download this also. So okay.
You know, and
Okay, this is good, Peter. Good path.
Okay.
So he's going to open that up.
But how can we make the land cover ground cover? You say about the pixel, but how can we make it?
How do you make it?
How?
Okay, so there are different ways. So you can, either purchase it is one way, just like imagery and elevation, right? But in this case, what I did, right? Not sure the QGIS is coming up. This is a brand new machine. I just installed everything yesterday or the day before. So I'm not sure I'm going to get this working.
Yep, I did walk through adding points, building points, saving that out, and then modifying shape files and saving them out. So I kind of went through that a little bit with these guys. So it's pretty much the same thing where you're going to load the shape file and then either add to it or modify the existing shapefile, right?
Well, not exactly, right? So it's a raster, right?
Okay, so it's an image. Okay.
The raster, you see the value.
Okay.
We have to input value to the land cover here. You see the value.
Yep.
So I'm asking how we can put this value for the ground cover.
Yep.
So in this case, what I did, and I'm sorry, my QGIS is not installed properly. I haven't run it yet. In this case, what I did, right, specifically was I took this area of composed terrain, all right, and I did create shape files, right? So I didn't have feature data. I didn't have raster data and feature data for all of this, right? But what I did know is that, oh, hey, I want this area to be grass. I wanted, so I have some information. But this area over here is forested, right? So I created a shapefile, and that shapefile, I made an area of, around this area and said it was forest, right? So I actually did use VR forces as well, but let me show you what I did, and I can turn off some of the OSG Earth, not layers. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to keep that on. That's fine. All right, I'm going to turn off the vegetation here. I'm going to turn off the procedural imagery. All right, so what I'm getting now is basically, I'm getting the imagery, right? And I'm not getting any of the vegetation,
Yes.
right? You can see none of that. So the same way, so I'm going to mention a couple of different techniques here. So you can take this source imagery and load it into Global Mapper, and in Global Mapper, you can trace it and say, oh, this is the forested area, right? So once you're in Global Mapper and you trace it with a shapefile, you can then export the shapefile as a raster itself. So in Global Mapper, you can bring a shapefile and say, okay, draw it with the value. And in this case, we have a mapping here, and I can set, so this mapping here, this is all values from 0 to 255, right? So this is a grayscale value here from 0 to 255 in each one of these. So in Global Mapper, I made a shapefile for forest, for grass, for shrubs, and so forth. And I did use VR Forces, but you could use Global Mapper. And in VR Forces, I can just do create. Oh, I'm in Vantage, not VR Forces. So you let me load this in VR Forces as well. Example, composed terrain. Let that load. All right, so while that's loading, so some of this stuff, if I'm doing it locally, I could grab some of the data from OpenStreetMap. But if it didn't line up perfectly, I can export that. If you go to GeoFabrique, the website has exported OpenStreetMap data as shapefiles.
Peter, is that one of the sites you gave me? You said Geo.
Yeah.
Yep. So I gave you that
GeoFabrique.
site. Yep. I gave you that site to go to.
And basically what I do is I import that and then say, you know what, I want to clean up the river. I want to add more points. And I just start with that data. So let me go to your forces. Okay, so here, again, I'm going to go over here to the forest. We've got all the vegetation, so I'm going to turn that off. Imagery elevation model. Procedural, want to turn off vegetation there, and want to turn off procedural imagery. That's the ground textures. Right, so now I just have imagery. So in VR Forces, I can right click and create an area here. And then I can trace it out, All right, once I have that area in VR Forces, object list, right? So that got saved into my tactical graphics layer, right? Once you have that tactical in that layer here, all right, there's a button up here a little arrow there. It says save the currently selected overlay as a shapefile.
Awesome.
So now I can export that area as a shapefile.
Just the file
Yep.
folder.
So basically, you could use Mach's, 15-meter imagery or whatever imagery is there, define these shape files, and then export that. Define an area, then export it as a shapefile.
Right.
Perfect.
And then you can bring that shapefile into Global Mapper or QGIS and render it out, save it out as a raster.
Export as a raster.
Mhm.
So I rasterize the shapefile after the fact.
Then can input the value of that area.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I can set the value in Global Mapper to say, oh, it's 12 or 255. And then basically I just make sure I have a map. So this TIFF here is the one that I created.
Yeah,
So,
but I saw one artifact because when you draw an area, so we will have preset boundary. You see, when you draw this area, so for the presentation of texture,
Yes.
we preset one stuff. That means like a line
Yeah.
cutting.
But is it
When you
cutting?
blend
Is it cutting because
the edge of the area.
okay? So basically, what he's saying, there's
When made
There's no-
gradually
he wants a gradation between the area
to the next one.
Yeah. Is there a way to feather the edge
Yeah. Fitting the
in the
edge.
raster image
in Global Mapper.
in Global
The
Mapper?
global
Yes.
mapper, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
You in Global Mapper you can feather. All right. So, but you want to feather the vegetation.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. So he's
in Global Mapper you can
Go ahead.
feather imagery like this, right? So I didn't feather this one, but I can feather it, right? But the vegetation is not feathered at all, right? So the
Kind of-
vegetation,
Like this.
it's just much higher resolution. All right. It does some of its own feathering between the different types. So I have to turn that back on again. Hold on.
It is
So-
forest, so we see the edge.
Mhm.
You see? It is not natural.
Well, so he's saying that it's the resolution.
Yes.
Maybe you're operating at a lower resolution than what you can go to get
Yeah. You
Get-
see?
the
Yeah,
edge.
look like this.
All right.
Here it is good.
So
Here you see.
this is two different land covers here,
Yes.
right? So the life map will do this blending automatically.
Yeah.
All right, but it's still at a pretty high resolution,
Resolution.
right? So I do have the features in here. Let me see. I think I can. Let me load. So in VR Forces, you can also load the features here. Tactical area. Create a new one here. Overlay. I'm going to do import here of the shapefile. And I'm going to go up to terrain. So the composed terrain example, I've included under features all the shape files that I used to build the raster land cover data. All right. So here we're looking at probably grass. But I'm going to import. Oh, didn't like that one. Didn't like that one at all. And I can't pull up QGIS either. I didn't like that. So this is a technique that I use, but this is not, this is just one way of doing it. Most people don't use this. Most people just get actual source data. And you can build all of this, again, in Global Mapper without using VR forces. But let me pull up the, sorry, let me go back to compose terrain. So under here, there's the GeoTIFF. Here it is. Okay, this one. Should, let's open up Windows Home Photo Viewer. Just one.
Lên rồi làm cho tới đến trung tâm tôi loại cây cái ngầm tự động mình tạo ra.
So here you can see what I did was I had a shape file.
Yes.
So I started with OpenStreetMap data for water, but then I went in Global Mapper, I could clean it up, or in VR Forces, I could clean up the vector. And then I would bring this back into Global Mapper, give it a thickness here for this edge, and then I call that sand, right? So all of this, and then I just gave the value, the symbol value for the feature when it draws. I said, set it at 12 or 20. And so each one of these values, this is all set in Global Mapper when I exported it. And that's how I get the grass and the forest and the river all in here.
You see some reason it has a sharp edge. I'm wondering how you can spread it out.
He's so he's seeing a sharp edge and he's wondering if there's a way to feather it out.
It's very sharp.
Yeah.
But not really.
How you can
I mean, these are two different land cover types, right?
Yeah.
So let's try this.
Yeah.
So basically, if you feather it out, the blend between the two won't be it won't be either one of the values that you're trying to capture, right? It'll be some like other value.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to show you this. This is the raster that we were looking at just now, right? So if I turn that off, this is what happens between the two. So
I see it is not correct. You see, it's quite straight, but also here you can see straight. But you can see why it had like this. It looks like straight. Yeah, you can see.
But see, it's doing that because the grass is then over top of this grass. So this is.
But how we can say that? You see, if this area with texture, if we have a sharp edge like this, another here, how it can blend it like this?
So I think what's going on is this is rendered first, then this is rendered and added.
But we didn't have this figure in the land cover.
Yeah.
You didn't see.
So he's saying the grass looks good. It's overlaying the short grass. How is that being done?
You can see it goes straight like this. But here it looks like a curve, not straight.
This is all automatic.
Yeah, he's saying it's all automatic. So
yeah. So you see, it is different. It is so sharp, the angle, the straight edge. But after that, the texture, the vegetation, it looks like a curve. Yeah, you can see.
Right.
So the boundary, you can see.
Right. So what is happening is this is it's called the life map. All right. And the life map takes the land cover data and samples points along there and then blends them and says, oh, what is
blending?
What is at a particular point, right? So this, I didn't do anything to do this blending. It automatically does this blending by itself. Okay.
Yes.
This blending does not work for things like roads, which are not used on the light map. They're brought in separately. So you can see that this is the straight line. The road is drawn on top.
Yes.
So this is not going to have any kind of blending. If you turn off the roads here, sorry, features. One second. Elevation, imagery here. We turn off the roads, right? This is what's being rendered. The roads are being drawn on top, right? They're just an imagery layer that's coming from the feature data.
Yes.
But this is actually what's underneath it. So the road, where the road is, and you can see in this image here, right? So this is the land cover data for the roads. There's a particular value for that. And that is mapped to, it's a dark value in here. So it's mapped to barren, I think. That value is 31. So anywhere is barren, it's going to make this no vegetation and, brown dirt, right? So without the roads, you can see this blending is all automatic, right? And if I turn here, so here you can, it's hard to see, but
Yes.
this is that land cover data, right? And all
Yes.
the blending is going to happen automatically. All of this, right? What's not going to happen automatically is not just the roads, but the water itself as well. Okay, the water is rendered like the roads on top. It is not using the life map. The life map, anything that goes into the life map will blend nicely, but water and roads does not blend nicely. And we don't currently have a good answer for that. You can see that the water is sharp and there's no blend. And the specular effect as well, you can see
Yeah.
here the jaggies, yeah, the Ailey thing. We don't have a good answer for that.
Mm.
But anything that fits into the land cover data, so all of these values will blend nicely together. And again, once you get far out and you don't have very good land cover data, then you can have a big block of one type versus another. But this land cover data is pretty high res,
Peter, is there a way to do any of this using flight files? Like I know it's a totally different system.
No.
Got it. That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah. So we'll get there too, though.
Okay.
We'll get there next, but I want to make sure that everyone has a good understanding of this and any questions.
Okay. You guys are good with this?
Yeah.
I
I'm not
hesitating,
about
yes.
the land cover.
Okay.
Not so clear.
So the good thing is that this terrain, this composed terrain example, all of the data is here and all the configuration is here.
Yeah, that's powerful. I didn't realize we had an example like that. So yeah, that's a really good example.
Get back to.
So it's called example terrain, right?
Example composed terrain.
Example composed terrain.
Yeah. And this has all the blocks. If you want to, anything that you want to do that's in here, you want to know how the buildings in here we have the procedurally extruded buildings here, right, is one type. On the other type, as Alex mentioned, all of these houses were placed originally as props right? But then I exported that as a shape file and loaded it back up in the earth file. So if you look at houses here, all right, just like I exported before, the area, you can export in a similar fashion a shape file for where your props are, right? So I want to show you that. So in here, basically, if I used, oh, my forces crashed. But in forces, you can go to File, Terrain, Export Props as shape file. And that will get you shape file from wherever you put props. So Alex, I'm not sure if you took them to that step. If you
Yes.
place props and you save them as an MTF file, that file will get very big. If you then take the next step to export it as a shape file, then it can get paged and loaded, and you can have a very big shape file with lots of buildings. But if you only have a few, you can use them as props and save it in the MTF file.
So that area that he pointed out, which we call, oh God, what's the little area that you went to in Camp Pendleton that you first started with?
Kilo 2.
Kilo 2. So Kilo 2 probably has about 25 to 30 props that were placed and then exported as an MTF file. So that's kind of what we were working on, where I placed the prop down, added terrain, and then the guy would use it as cover.
Okay.
So, but then what he's saying is then you could have a shape file that's literally has points in it where you can place them and orient them and then set different models to different points.
But after that, the ID of each house will be different, or will be random or specified?
Yeah, so that's exactly what's going on here. These aren't just placed props; they're actually defined points that have orientation and then associated models.
The point rotation and also the ID.
Correct.
Yeah.
The type house.
Yep.
And the nice thing is when you place it as a prop, when VR Forces exports that, it exports the kind of building, the model that it's using, the orientation, and the location gets all saved into the shape file, as well as the altitude. So all of these speed trees were placed the same way. They're placed as props because I wanted to place these in very specific locations where in the imagery, it looks like there's a tree here. So I placed, this tree. This was not vegetation. This was a hand-placed tree. And then I exported as a shape file. And when I exported a shape file, it saved the fact that, oh, it's this kind of tree at this location through that process. I can't
vào trong cái mắt người được bố trí ở vị trí đây đấy. Nhưng sau đấy mình dừng lên xếp, ví dụ mình xếp là vị trí người ta rồi em nhé. Một xếp vào trên terrain. Rồi cái thằng này thì mình xếp thế. Rồi coi như mình bố trí xong mình xuất nó sang để nó xếp vào. Thì cho nó chỉ đúng chính thôi. Thay vì cái chỗ kia em bố trí 10 tòa nhà lưu vào thì chỗ này chỉ lưu vị trí. Xong rồi lốt vào thì có cái đi nó tự động có được 6. Còn nó đơn mạnh.
They're just talking about what you're discussing, Peter.
Yeah. Here's the point. When we place tree, house, and so on, how we separate the group, for example, tree, house, to separate.
Yeah, that would be two separate.
Separate.
Yeah. So each one would be a separate flight path.
Separate flight.
Yes.
And we can choose which type. We can choose what type of object we want to export as shapefile.
Yes. Yeah. So and some shapefiles literally define a road as like a segment, and then others are points.
Yes.
And then there's areas.
Yeah.
So you would say, okay, I'm going to define a lake. That will be an area. And then you would define a road. Well, that would be roads that are separate as.
What about the houses? You see different type of house, different tree.
Yeah, that would be points.
Yeah, point.
Yeah, and you could open that file up, and there's existing. I think in Ala Moana is the best example because it has points, and you could open up that and show.
I see. But here we can see how can we choose only tree to export as a shapefile. After that, we
Yeah.
can import it.
Yeah, so this right here, this example has all these defined. So Peter, each one of those trees is a separate point, right? This,
Yes.
yeah. So this is a totally separate file that says here's a tree, here's a tree, here's a
Yeah.
tree, here's this type of tree, here's this type of tree, and it gives its geolocation,
Okay.
its orientation, and then the tree type that's there. And then
But
that's
now-
combined with the shapefile of the houses, which are done the exact same way.
Yeah, I'm asking about the step how we can choose the tree and then we export
Yes.
as a step file.
Do you have a way to you don't have that?
Export.
Yeah, I think I have that tool on my machine, so I could show them later.
Yeah.
In this example, I could open up that shapefile and then
Yeah.
how it's pointing to the model.
Export
Unless you have it available. All they want to know is he's going to open
So
it.
I mean, because my QGIS is not working and I don't have Global Mapper installed, I can't look at the specific things. But what I can look at here is under.
Thì là bây giờ ông đang làm xem có đặt ra.
Yeah. So he's going to load up something that shows how that point
Okay.
is
Yeah,
defined
and then
as a tree or a house or
Yeah.
what type of tree and what type of house.
then export is shapefile.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Peter. This is quite helpful.
Right, good.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, I can't even zoom in here. So just going back here, back to the composed terrain example here. Right, so in this case, the houses, right, so we have one called houses and one called trees. These are both loaded from their own individual shape files.
Yeah.
Right, so if I look at this file here, this here is the shapefile that I use for the houses, right? And you can see that they're reading a property attribute from the shapefile called rotation, right? So
Okay.
rotation is an attribute in the shapefile, and it's using this to set the property for model heading. So here we're also getting the attribute from the shapefile called model path.
It's straight from ViaForce to shapefile. When you export it,
Yes, yes. I placed the props in ViaForces, did file terrain export props as shapefile. And then it saved all the information, and then I just pointed, I copied this from, another terrain, and I just set this. So if you create your own props, use this configuration here, just point to your own shapefile here, everything should just work.
yes.
So this is the house one, and you'll notice that the tree one here, it is very similar. It's not the same. It's a little bit different because it's using speed trees, and the speed trees aren't 3D models. They have their own shader and they're running separately. It's a plugin, right? And that's why they can move, they can do different things. So they load slightly differently. They load, there is the driver up here is called feature custom, right? So in the buildings, the driver is just the feature model. It's not feature custom. So make sure that if you're placing buildings, houses and trees, that you're using the two different blocks. That's why they're separated. I have the buildings in here separate because the buildings are the extruded ones. So in this example, the houses here are all points, but the buildings here are procedurally extruded here.
Yeah.
And those are all areas, and that's also configured. I can create areas in ViaForces.
And so So I'm going to just define that a little bit. So these buildings here are defined as an area.
Mhm.
They're put on the ground. They're extruded because we know the footprint of the building and the
Yeah.
height of the building.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's generally defined like is it glass, is it, or is
Yeah.
that something you had to do to define the exterior of the building? Or is it done
So
randomly?
there's a configuration file, so you can pull attribution for like residential or commercial,
Okay.
and those can apply certain textures for residential buildings, commercial buildings. But you can tell the extruded ones because they, they can have artifacts like this, right? So, and they can get some roof clutter. I don't think it's configured in here, but yeah, they can have different textures.
Cái game texture nó loạn xạ nó cứ dựng một cái hình hộp lên xong đấy nó texture thế nên là nó làm tự động có bạn coi ở bên quy kích ấy cái tí đó đấy là cái nhà nó theo đúng cái ID của nó sang toán lên theo đấy
Cho nên nó
cái
có
vùng
quanh này là có một cái vùng có footprint của cái thằng đấy.
về các cái vùng cũng định nghĩa cái chỗ đấy là cái nhà
có
xong đầu theo cái ID của nó.
Okay.
Windows.
Excellent, man. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about on this, or did you want to go to just like a general overview? I don't want to spend too much of your time on this. There's another subject these guys want to cover. So, did you want to look at the open flight file
Yeah.
in Alamoana?
So
Okay. Is it possible to look at the open flight file, Peter? Are you hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
But you want to see it in Vantage of Forces, right?
So later you will learn how to export.
I what?
Later you so he will show how to export.
Yes.
Yeah. But later you get
Yeah, I actually kind of went through all this
okay.
last week. Yeah, I went through it all. But we'll go through it again if you want. But so he's going to talk about the open flight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrain. Terrain 3D.
Yep.
All right. So, in Hawaii, Ala Moana, I'm going to load that up. So, Ala Moana is an open flight file. Ala Moana is in geocentric coordinate system, right? If you want to mix your Earth files, all your Earth files are configured in geocentric, right?
Yes.
Geocentric, the origin is at the center of the Earth.
Yes.
So all the numbers are very large, on the edge. So that means they have to be in double precision, right? So the open flight file originally was made with Terra Vista, and then I hand modeled a lot of the stuff in there in addition to that. But when it was finally done, it was converted to geocentric using Creator, right? And so I believe that I've made a terrain with Tryon before that will also convert it to geocentric. But the important thing, and so when you pull up the terrain, it will look a little weird. I don't know what's happening here. 1 minute.
So when you say double precision, it's basically a setting on the export, and that would give it's like instead of a float, it's a double. It's a higher decimal point to give precise accuracy.
So anytime the terrain tool is going to export in geocentric, it's going to do that.
Okay, automatic. Yeah.
Automatically. But the problem is, like rendering engines don't work in double precision when you're drawing vertices and polygons.
Yeah.
Right. You need a transform in there. Right. And that's the key. So if you have a terrain that you made and it's in geocentric and it's on the surface of the Earth, all needs to be in local coordinates with a transform that puts it on the Earth
Okay.
at that distance away, right? So, I can't, usually tools like Trian, if you set it to geocentric, it will automatically put in the transforms. You'll know if the numbers, yeah, this is not working. Try it. Oh,
So what he's saying is that the position of the terrain is set by that large value,
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. But then based off of that point is where you build your database.
Yes.
And that's all local coordinates that are associated with that large precision values that put it at the center of the Earth. That makes sense? So basically you've got a single set of values, 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
for geocentric, which starts here, orients it here, and then from that location you say, oh, here's a polygon, here's a vector. So it's using small values to define
Yeah.
polygons here, but it's based off of that initial large, complex geocentric coordinate that gets it to that edge of the Earth.
So when we import, we have to input the coordinate with the lower point like that.
Yes.
But the problem is even we see for the local we do on the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Last time,
It's-
how we convert it into
Yeah,
geocentric?
Yeah, I think you got to start with geocentric. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, I'm sure you can, but you can't just go from flat Earth to geocentric. There's going to be. No, this is geocentric.
This is, yes. Sorry. So how do you want to build your terrain?
How do you want to build?
Try in 3D.
Yeah.
Try in 3D builder like that.
No, I know.
Do you want to start in flat Earth and then convert it to geocentric?
Yes.
Okay, so flat Earth to geocentric is what they'd like to do. Is that recommended?
So, I mean, we cannot convert, your terrain has to be in geocentric when you've exported your OpenFlight or MetaFlight from Trian.
So you've got to be in
Geocentric.
Yeah, that's why when we were converting it, it was doing this crazy stuff.
Also, geocentric, it is really difficult to make some model.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you start off with geocentric, so what is that terrain? Is that flat Earth that you're starting with? Does that make sense? So you're cutting a piece of terrain.
Yeah.
If you are going from flat Earth to geocentric, it's going to be extremely difficult. It's not going to work. So you got to literally start. If you get data, you got to start with geocentric, export it as geocentric, and then do it that way. So flat Earth is like literally me taking this thing and trying to stick it on the side of the Earth and make it look good, and it's just not gonna go well. So you have to literally start with the right piece of dirt, add your flight file, and then export that as geocentric.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying it correctly, Peter? You can correct me.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So this is an example of a terrain that isn't geocentric. It's the B Design Nevada terrain, right? And so this terrain is in geocentric. It happens to be a MetaFlight as well, and you can see that it's paging here, right? If you in Trian, you start with your feature data, your GIS. You can have shape files, you can have elevation, you can have, right? And all your source GIS data can be in whatever format, whatever projection. It could be UTM, right? That's not going to be in geocentric. That's going to be in, some projection, a geodetic or UTM, Lambert, whatever it is, right? You bring it as a Trian, And then in Trian, you have to say that when you build the terrain, you export it that you want geocentric, right? If you export it as flat Earth, then the origin's going to be, Z up. You're going to have small numbers and it's all great, but it will not work with OSG Earth. Now, flat Earth will work just fine by itself, but it will not work with OSG Earth.
But we cannot convert it as you say when we import the shapefile, no matter what the projection it has, but how we can convert it into geocentric
The shapefile?
in trial in 3D. Yeah. We
in
have tried,
Trian
but we
3D,
cannot convert it.
You don't need to convert the shapefile into geocentric, right? If you import the shapefile into Trian, and then
Yes.
you tell Trian to export terrain as geocentric, it'll all just work.
Yeah.
Like if your shapefile has buildings and points and
sau đó mình convert nó sang geocentric nó còn có được không đảm bảo là cái đi phát vào thì cái shapefile thì vô kinh mờ thì được sau khi mình phát xong rồi để cái spot mình chọn geocentric
Được.
sao trước cái máy thằng đường đường
Thì tập đưa xếp hai là
thì cái shapefile cái trend nhiều lý do là như trước Alex.
Yes.
Our problem is, you see, in Trian 3D,
Yeah.
they provide some sample. We see it is flatter.
Yeah.
And then we can also import the shapefile, but we don't know when we change it to the geocentric, it
So-
doesn't work.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably just a conversion issue or something like that. But starting in flat Earth, it's probably better to start with geocentric and start from there. But going from flat, or if you're just going to be in flat Earth, stay in flat Earth.
So what kind of data we have to work in geocentric?
Yes.
Just like he said, shapefile, even no projection.
Yeah. So I would
terrain irrigation or something.
I would get all your terrain from the same source. Like go to one of the sites that you recommended. Find the satellite imagery, find the shapefiles, start from there,
I see.
and then stick within the same coordinate system. So if you're starting with flat Earth and you got all your images in the center.
Wait.
Yeah,
Alex,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead,
Sorry.
Peter.
All right. So the source GIS data does not come in geocentric.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be UTM, it's going to be geodetic, it could be Lambert, it could be any projection, right? So when you import that data into Global Mapper or into QGIS or into Trian, it's going to handle it. If like most GIS tools,
Yeah.
it will turn it. So if you start, you have a UTM terrain and you
Yes.
bring in a Lambert shapefile, it will handle it correctly and place it. There are times when you may have problems with that, but in general, the GIS tools deal with that. Okay, if you in Vantage VR Forces, we only work in one coordinate system. We do not convert. So if you have a terrain that's in flat Earth and you bring it into Vantage or VR Forces, it's only going to stay in flat Earth.
Yes.
All right. Earth files, anytime you do anything with the Earth file, it's all in geocentric. It's always all in geocentric, right?
Yes.
So when you build your OpenFlight file and you want it to merge with the Earth file, the OpenFlight has to be in geocentric.
Yes.
Right. Now, there are tools. Now, I don't know if Trian can do this, but Presagis Creator did, and Remo 3D can as well. It can take an OpenFlight flat Earth terrain, and then there's a button that says converted to geocentric, and it will convert it to geocentric.
Rainbow
So you can
3D.
Remo 3D will do it, yes.
Yeah.
And
Can
it
we-
will put the transform in there as well.
You can convert from flatter to geocentric.
Yes.
Rainbow body các bạn có một chút có chút
People body
có một cái có chút thực tế fan geocentric.
yeah. They just
Yeah, we are now having two software, Rainbow 3D and Chain 3D.
And I think that's just part of what you have to do. You have to follow.
So to make our own drain, so that means we can import the tip file, the elevation, even in UTM or something, and
Yes.
the image and shape file, and then we can convert it into geocentric.
Correct.
Yeah.
Using the Remo 3D that he spoke of.
Okay.
So
Okay, I got
Peter's, my guess, Peter's about to show an example of taking a flight file and putting it in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's about to do.
All right. I just want to double check here.
cái này cũng phải ông sau mở cái thành tức là chết trên tăng lai của ông trong cái thằng bạn của mình cũng được. Nên của ông thì trong cái file cái beta slide và mở lên thì nó test beta slide
Sơn ra.
nó cũng ra đến cái
Thì nó để trong này nó xong thì nó bật file đã.
They're having a discussion, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get, sorry.
Okay. How are you holding up, man? Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. All right. So this one's also in geocentric. So what I wanted to do is just clarify. So train data, Brooklyn is actually called default stage 11.
Default stage 11. That's what you're thinking.
Yes. All right. So this one, I'm going to load it into Vantage here. All right. And it says that the terrain is in flat Earth. Okay. So now the coordinate system in Vantage and VR Forces is flat Earth. Right. Double click on this one. This is a flat Earth terrain.
Yes.
Okay. So this one's completely flat Earth. I cannot, if I add an Earth file to this, like you can see on the upper right, if I click on terrain, down here, it'll tell you what the coordinate system is. And now it says flat Earth. I can't zoom in, sorry. So once you're in flat Earth, everything has to be flat Earth. And VR Forces can work with flat Earth. You can't work with an Earth file in flat Earth. Right?
Yeah.
So Trian, I know because I built it, Trian has a configuration. When you choose a coordinate system, you can export your OpenFlight in geocentric.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work?
Yes. We have tried, but it doesn't work. When
Right.
we convert it from flat Earth to geocentric.
Okay, and you're building just an OpenFlight, not MetaFlight. It's not very big.
You're converting just an OpenFlight, right?
Yeah.
OpenFlight, not MetaFlight.
Not MetaFlight. Remember, we tried MetaFlight.
No, we try most.
Yeah, so we tried MetaFlight, that didn't work, so we switched to OpenFlight.
OpenFlight,
Yes.
if we export it as flat Earth, it works. We can load and this, but if we convert it into geocentric, it doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
It's a dogfight, I think.
Yeah, and I think it exported, Peter, but it was just kind of on the lower end of the Earth or something like that. It just looked weird. So I mean, I think we should stick with one. So if they have the data in flat Earth, they should export it as flat Earth and then use it in Forces as flat Earth. Because that conversion,
you won't get any Earth file if you want the world around it. If you want procedural vegetation, if you want anything like that, none of that's
Okay.
going to work. You're only going to get the polygons. You're only going to get this.
So I think then they should find data that's in UTM or something like that that will convert correctly to the location. So I think you need to find better source data.
It's not the data, it's Trian.
Okay.
The data is just fine. The data is that coordinate system is fine. It's whether or not Trian can export it in geocentric or not.
So they'd have to use the tool Reno 3D to
Yeah.
convert.
If you build an OpenFlight file that is in flat Earth, Remo 3D will convert that to geocentric.
Okay. All right. Do you I don't want to waste a lot of your time, Peter. There is one more subject that we could go to, if that's all right.
Yep. Hold on just 1 second, all right?
All right, Bradley. Yeah. He's tired, and I just don't want to like keep going over the same thing. But hopefully, you guys got. So you need to find good data. You need to convert using Remo 3D, and the source data needs to be in UTM or something that literally defines its location on the Earth, and that makes sure that your elevation, satellite imagery, shapefiles are all in the same format, and then you would convert it using another tool to geocentric. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just mentioned that, okay, it is good for OpenFlight because the point.
Yeah.
But he says that he cannot open the sample metadata file
Yes.
in Max.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Yeah.
The metadata file is the sample.
So I think that might just be a bug. He's saying that the sample meta flight will not open, and I think I saw him try this and it just didn't work. But
even it's a MAT file, it's
yeah,
MAT sample.
it's something that we sent. But I don't want to waste.
Yeah, that one. Sorry,
Yes.
it's all right. It's all
Okay.
right. That one doesn't work.
Okay.
There's been a problem with that one. We're working on it. We're fixing it. If you want to try a Metaflight, use the B-Design Nevada terrain.
Yep. So he's saying that one doesn't work. You got to use the Nevada B-Design Metaflight.
B-Design Nevada.
Yep.
Metaflight. That's a good example for it.
Okay. Perfect, man. All right. Are you ready for the next topic?
Yep. Yep.
The next topic is using a articulated model and modifying it. This was Jim's. Jim said we don't give these models out. So this is. Let me see if I can get you the model type. It's called an SA-125, and they're basing it off of one of the surface-to-air missile launchers that's in VR Forces already. But we don't have the unencrypted files, and then we don't. Basically, they want to say like, okay, we're going to make a new one of these missile launchers. Each missile is going to launch, and then when it launches, one less missile will be on that launcher. So they want a high-end missile launcher based off of one of our existing launchers.
Right.
And give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find you the missile launcher. Yep. So it's a SA-125, and I'll see if I can send you an image of it. But I think we have like something in there that's similar. I'm going to copy an image and send it to you. Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to notes chat. Raising chat. There we go.
Put a link.
Yeah, I called a link. So let me grab that again. Sorry.
No. It's English.
All right, you're putting it in Slack or in Teams?
Teams. Yeah, sorry, it's just a pain in the butt. It's fighting me. So yeah, we have one that's like that, and I think if you do SA, it's like it's one used by Vietnam. There you go.
Yeah, you look like this.
Yep.
This is okay to me. I don't.
All right. All right. So have you guys built a model to work in Viewer Forces?
We have not built a model yet.
So he sent you the model. He sent even the launcher, the missile, and so on. He sent you the model. Người mua hết rồi.
No, I don't think he sent it.
He sent you.
Tại trên mạng
Gửi cho nào?
người có mail không?
À đấy, gửi mấy cái mô hình cái bệ phóng với tên lửa cho ông rồi chứ.
Mà anh không gửi cho em rồi. Anh gửi hết rồi. Mà anh không gửi.
That has sent you the model, 3D model,
Okay.
launcher, missile, and so on
Okay.
through email.
So he's sending it. You're sending it now, Peter,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And Peter, I hate to say it, I don't have any 3D model tools on my computer. But if you want to show it off, I'll get the model and hand it off to them.
Yeah. The problem is I have a new machine. I don't know even what I have installed that's going to work. So
Okay. Yeah, he's got to do a little bit of work.
Nice.
You use Max, right? 3D Studio
Yeah,
Max?
he can do many tools,
Okay, excellent.
like Blender.
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get this to work.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks.
Ra đấy còn nước không anh nhỉ?
À có nhé.
Yeah.
Do you have a new one of those Alienware
Một chai.
laptops, Peter?
Yeah, I got a desktop.
Oh, you got a desktop? Okay.
Yeah.
If you are getting multiple crashes, I had to turn off the thread. Gosh, what is it called? I had to go into the BIOS and turn off the thread. I forget the name, but let me know and I'll send it to you if you've seen a bunch of crashes, because it's kind of hard to figure out what was going on with it. But it definitely worked. Had issues with forces and engage.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this to work, but
Okay.
but in either case, I can still talk about the process.
Yeah, that'll be good.
All right.
Không được chỉ chạy được kia nên đông lên nói về quy trình.
All right. So on the topic of what we can send you and what we can't send you, so we cannot send you this 3D model. Okay. We have 6 or so. Let me show you. Um, so in the mock test SMS, there are 7 models that we can send you that we built ourselves. We can't send the other ones because a lot of them we bought from other vendors and we don't have the license for them.
Does that make sense? So basically the models we built ourselves, we can send you unencrypted. But the ones that we purchase under that purchase agreement, we're locked with that vendor and we can't say, oh, let me send it to you because then we're violating our agreement with that vendor. So this is one of those models.
Backloaded,
But
not loaded.
yeah, so what you can do is purchase a similar model and go from there. So since we bought it, we're under that agreement with them. We can't just send it. So you can go on TurboSquid and find something comparable and do that.
How many model that is free on the this
How many
this
free
project?
models?
Like, how
Peter,
many free that you have?
7. We have 7.
Only 7?
Yes, that we built.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So it's better to find.
So we can have that 7?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can, but I'm not sure if they're going to be valuable to you. So Peter's going to go through the process here of what he takes.
Mua nhưng mà nó sẽ phải đi kia lại trong đây.
Right, so for the ground vehicles that we have these 2, right? Now, we have other models that we've built. These particular ones are example models, right? So we do have a library of other models such as the
Cái biên
M182.
bản mà có khi là mắc thì là nó tải.
That there's a bunch of them. I can give you a list of what we can provide. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any SA models that we can provide, right? So you can't, like we have a library, most of the models come from other vendors, so we can't provide those. But we can
Okay.
provide these models, right?
Okay.
So if you need a model for an example to load in 3ds Max, I mean, you want to first start with one of these if you need to know how it works and what you have to do,
Yes.
right? The next
We
step
study
is
from some.
Yeah.
So I mean, getting that basic part down is important. Then the next step is like, okay, well, I have an SA. I want to launch multiple rockets. That's a functionality we don't have, but there are ways to get around it, and I can talk about how to do that.
Chưa có tính năng đấy, bây giờ chỉ có mình làm sao làm được.
Okay. Yeah, Peter, if you want to go, like, let's talk about the tank because that's got similar articulation that an SA vehicle would have.
The articulation we can make it how we can configure it in 3D Max or the motion point.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's got the rotation and turret.
Okay, so in Max, so we're using FBX models, not OpenFlight now. So you can use OpenFlight if you want, but FBX is easier and much better to use than OpenFlight for Max.
Yes.
So
what?
Go ahead, Peter.
So in Max,
I'm sorry, they're discussing. So. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
here, I'm gonna put down opposing force.
Yeah. So
So this
Um,
articulation, the
yes.
way that this is configured on the model is in the geometry of the model, there is an empty node. Normally in Max, we use a dummy node. You can use, usually you want to use a dummy node, or if you're using Blender, it's an empty node. Or you can, it's also called as a locator. And on that node, we put a comment, and that is in our documentation, and that comment is at DIS articulated part 4096. All right. So in our documentation, all the art parts are listed. Not sure I have documentation, but let me see.
Xong mình bắt một Blender mình tạo một 21 phần cho con mình.
Yeah, and Peter, if you've got that documentation, if you just want to send it in the chat.
Well, I mean, the documentation is our documentation, so they
Okay.
should have the same documentation.
Okay.
It's the, sorry, I just want to pull it up so we can look at it.
Okay.
Documentation. All right, it's the adding content to Mach 1 application.
Perfect.
Right. And in here, there is a section on vehicles. Brain, so visual models, introduction to visual models. Model definitions, elements. You want to get to our. All right, so starting here, box specification notes. It starts to tell you a little bit about the model, the coordinate system, where the origin is on the model. And there's an image coming up here. All right. Sorry, just jump.
Yeah, I hate it when it does that, huh?
Yeah. Probably lost my place. Nope, nope. We try this again.
Một chế độ này với bộ sinh tiết kiệm của mình chân thì không phải với phần này nó bổ sung nhiều. Còn này là các công mình nữa. Xong admin content.
All right.
392, 394.
All right. There we go. All right. So here's the 3D model like of that M1A2 tank. And on the geometry for the turret, so here you have a dummy node and you have to place these comments on it here on the right. Okay. And
Can
the
you-
comments are at AS articulate part.
Can you zoom in a little bit
can't-
more, Peter? Oh, sorry.
Can't really zoom in much more.
I gotcha.
But
There you go.
What can you think?
But all of these articulated parts, they're listed in the document further down, right? This is just to specify that on this geometry on the turret, you've got one on the weapon, you have a separate node. So if you go down, there is a table. So here is a table of appearance bits. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But when I pass the appearance bits, I will get to all the articulated parts. Articulated parts. Okay, here. All right. So the articulated part here is on the left, part number. So for the turret is part 4096. So when you set up the turret, you need to put, and it should be written up here. It's written up at the top. At DIS articulated part, and then you put part 4096, and that it rotates the turret. The Air Forces will rotate that turret. To elevate the barrel, it's 4416. 4416, which is the primary gun number, right? So those are the two comments, and that will get the turret to turn and the gun to elevate. And then the comment has to be just on the geometry for the gun barrel. All right. So anything, if you have a secondary one, then you can use primary gun 2. If you have a second weapon, a machine gun or something that you want to elevate, that will also work on the parts. All right, let me also. I'm going to show this in the simulation object editor as well. All right. So does that make sense for the articulated parts?
Yes.
Here's the mock test SMS. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a model that has multiple missiles on it for them to disappear. But
How would you handle that, by the way? Like if you're going to say, I fired a missile, now this one disappears. I fired this missile, now this disappears.
Well, let me get to that in 1 second, but let me.
Okay.
I just want to finish up on. Let's do the M182. All right. So on the 3D model here, if you go to physical, so this is the simulation object editor. You can see that over here, when loaded the model, it has primary gun number 1 is 4416. So if I click on this, you can see that the model is elevating here. And the same thing with the primary turret. Primary turret number 1, right? And then you can see all these other numbers. They also came from the document for the art parts. So once you configure them, you can test them in the simulation object editor, and you can get all the art parts to work accordingly. All right. All right. So the other part, now I want to talk a little bit about if you wanted to hide missiles, right? So there are things called appearance bits. And so on a model, you can have a number of appearance bits configured. And we use those appearance bits, they're switches, to do things like setting the damage state. So damage state, I can switch it to another state, right? And I can do that with a number of different, I can set damage back to not set, and I can set mobility here, which breaks the track right here, or I can use firepower, which which breaks this, right? So, and I can use that also to turn on headlights, which you can't see very well. I have this mask cloak, right? So these appearances here, they're fixed. And if I go back up here, you can see these are the numbers basically for like damage states, bit 3 and 4, 5, 7, 8. In VR forces, when you set, you can go, VR forces, I could do set. Set appearance. All right. Can you read this? I can't.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little far away, but I think we know what this is. Yeah, we've seen this
Okay.
menu before, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so in here, these are fixed numbers. If you wanted to use these numbers for something else, like we're not using all of these. We have ramp extended here. We have headlights on and off. If you don't care about headlights, you could tie each missile to one of these appearances. And then when VR Forces fires, you can tell VR Forces, oh, turn on headlights or turn them off, but that would actually hide the model.
That makes sense. So within the model itself, you would basically set an art part to the number that's in the documentation, and in forces you could say turn on the headlights, lower the ramp, and it's basically toggling the appearance on and off for
Right.
separate art parts.
Right. So as appearance, not as an art part, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of the same thing. It's just a comment you put on, but this comment is called @DIS switch headlights. And then VR Forces, once you put that in, VR Forces will use that for whatever geometry you want to switch. So if you want to do headlights or you want to do a missile, it doesn't matter, but you would hijack this attribute here to do that.
Got it.
Now, if you want to do it the correct way with this method, then you could write a whole bunch of plugins to VR Forces to actually add extra attribution. So it can be done. This is just a quick, easy way of doing it. But if you want to write the code to add extra attributes, then that can be done too.
Okay. All right. So the easy way is using existing attributes and then just use them a different way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we right now attribute plugin?
What's that?
Can we?
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah. So we could
By
set it up
default?
that way within the SMS with that existing model, because that model has a whole bunch of other things in it. We would just need to add it to it. So he's using the Abrams tank.
Yeah.
I think it's NBT.
Yeah, main battle tank.
Yep. Main battle tank. That's what we just said. So. But for this to work, I would definitely get a model off a Turbo Squid that matches what you want, and then you could follow the example of this, adding comments, like he said, that are in the documentation or in this existing model to that, and that would be, the base, the articulation of the launcher, and then the separate models as lights on, ramp, so forth. So it would be, as they fire the missile, you would just drop and set the appearance per missile to hide those particular, if that's what you want to do. I mean, that's a lot of little nuances there. But
so do you have modelers to make these 3D models?
do you have a modeler? Is he a modeler to build?
Yeah, he sent you.
Okay.
Send use the model.
Models, yeah.
The
So he's
inside.
yeah. So he's a modeler. He can do it.
Mhm.
Okay. But he sent me a model.
Yeah.
I know he sent me the human model, but I didn't.
Both launcher, missile also.
Okay. Okay. So
Please check email. That said he said to you.
okay,
before.
all I remember is the human model.
Both
But,
of them.
okay. So I'll have to look at that. But I don't have that tool here, so he would need to modify it there to add that comment in there to make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So I can send the M182, I can send any of these test models here.
Yeah,
All
if you could do that, that would be great,
Yeah.
Peter.
Then
Right.
that will study from your
Yep.
model.
Yep.
Yes.
But I can give you the FBX model, you can load that into Max.
Yes.
You can load it into, I wouldn't use Blender because there's some problems with Blender. But Maya will also work.
Mm.
But I'll send that model tomorrow.
Okay. He's gonna have to send it tomorrow,
Okay.
not today,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Just
Yeah, I have to get,
No, I'm gonna go home.
All right.
But I think with the documentation, with the model,
Yeah.
that you guys should be able to get what you want out of this. So if he's giving you the unencrypted model and the documentation, which describes the art part and how that is, or
And
articulate.
even how to add effect, motion effect.
So now his question is when it fires. So let's talk about the missile launcher, and when it fires, that there's like an explosion effect. How do you add the explosive effect? Let's say that the HIMARS and the HIMAR files, or that, yeah.
Really good one.
Yeah. So how does that work? If you could talk about that.
all right, basically a similar dummy node that's in the model. We have a dummy node that's placed at the end of the barrel. It has a comment that says end of barrel. And so it reads that. In VR Forces here, you can also set that independently if you needed. We have endpoint here. So if this was not in the right place, you wanted to make it, somewhere further. So you can see the endpoint is now at this location. So if I tested it, but the model itself has the comment in it, so you can do it either from the comment or from this configuration. So I can load it back from there, and that's getting it from the model.
So that looks really, really good, Peter. Does that explosion have a like a forward X direction, or is it just like
Yeah.
a puff? Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks like a tank firing its main gun, so it looks really good.
So this Fire Forces sets out a detonation, a weapon fire effect.
Yep.
So that's how it gets placed at runtime in VR Forces.
Yep.
So the same thing happens for when a missile. So you might have to configure a missile to when it fires to have the effect.
Okay.
Of smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we do that by default.
Okay. Cool. Well, this looks beautiful.
I prefer actually to send. Sorry, not the cargo. This. Oh yeah, sorry. This tank rather than the M1A2, because this one's much more simpler. The M1A2 is very complicated.
Yeah.
Lots of different parts.
Yeah, it's got those two machine guns up top. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, and they're all kind of like separate models. So yeah, this one is contained. This one's designed to be the example.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send this one.
Okay, good. what else? So basically, what they're looking for is a surface-to-air missile launcher that they're going to modify, create themselves, but it's got articulated parts. And then they want the effect when it fires, and then you've gone through the appearance of the missiles themselves disappearing. Is there anything else that they need to know about? I think you've covered quite a bit.
So we can configure different effects, but if they wanted a different custom effect that we don't have, I just want to mention the particle system editor.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to go through that, that would be great.
So there's one in forces and should be one here. This is not here anymore. Right, it may actually be. Let me just show it in forces here. So under settings is particle system editor here. So I am going to. So I think that one's a weapon fire. So, and I'm going to turn on enable preview.
Okay.
All right. If I click on any of these, so that's the I think artillery fire. So you can get different effects here. If we don't have one that's already pre-configured, you can go down here and change, make a new one, create a new one from this. You
Okay.
can add one, and then, there's a lot of parameters here, but somebody who knows particle systems can start, tweaking it. You can change the texture. There's a texture in here if you want a different texture. You can have more or less particles. You can change the color of it. You can make it more transparent.
Okay. And here's a really dumb question for you, Peter. So can you go where you open that particle editor? How did you open it?
Oh, under settings, particle system editor.
Okay, and that's in the SMS simulation.
If it's not in the SMS, it's in Manager via forces.
Okay.
It used to be here, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it now.
Okay. So if I go into forces, I should be able to see that under settings. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing it now.
Okay. I'm gonna fire up forces and just make sure that it comes up. So just 1 second. All right. Well, this is really good stuff.
Okay.
Anything else, guys, that you want to talk
How about adding smoke train of the missile?
Smoke trail for the missile. Smoke.
Define smoke train.
Yeah, how to define when the missile is flying through the air, how to give it a particle effect.
And attach at the end of the missile.
Yes. So I guess that would just be the same thing where you open up a missile and then add just a emitter at the base of it. So if you just want to go through that, so go adding a missile and then adding the particle effect at the end of it.
Let me
And I think we
So
can,
the
yeah,
first,
yeah, go ahead.
so the first thing is you have to turn on the particle systems. So right now, if you have a plane and you want a contrail, you just have to turn on the contrail from the observer settings,
Okay,
right? And that's going to leave the contrail,
okay.
all right?
Yeah.
So basically he's going to observer and he's turning on contrail
Yeah.
for that particular object.
And how we
Alright.
can set up?
So in the missile itself, there's probably a way to just add a like smoke, or while the missile's being created, it's got a
So do you have
smoke
any
trail.
sample model like the tank?
Yeah, so we have missiles in there. We would just need to turn on their trail.
No. Can you be an example of the model like tank? So
Yeah,
we try to
I don't think we have any sample missile, but I mean he could just make a missile.
yeah.
Missiles
But
are so
setting
easy.
something.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
about setting?
yeah, I mean
We
it's
learn.
so what we'll do is we'll look at the tank, and the tank's
Yeah.
got that emitter, and then we'll look at this aircraft, and that aircraft has like a contrail position, so we could look at that.
I think it is.
Something like that I think is extremely easy, like creating a missile and then adding just a emitter. So Peter is entity definition editor right here, and he's looking at the A10.
So it just needs a trailing effect. So all of these have trailing effect visualizers. And then I can choose the particle system here that if I want to change it to whatever I want. I need to check munitions, missiles, medium missiles. They may not be configured. Wait, trailing effect. So they have a trailing effect contrail. So some of these are configured. And yeah, you should be able to change it to, a different effect if you want. So
Okay.
some of these are already configured. I'm just not sure if all of them are configured.
Okay. All right, that's something we can do on our end. That seems pretty straightforward. So
Okay. I mean, I'd say the first thing to test out is putting down some vehicles that shoot missiles and turning on the contrails
okay.
and see if they actually just show up.
Yep. Okay. It sounds like a plan.
How about
Okay.
Okay, well, the question how to create an office in the Engage. That means we can
Okay.
design.
So yeah, we can do that.
It says that you just in the motion, we cannot import it or using it in the Engage.
Yeah, so I'll have to mess around with that. I don't think like that would be me doing that. So I'd have to take his model. I haven't gotten there yet because yesterday we dealt with all that licensing stuff and everything else. So why don't I work on that today, where I take his model and I get it into VR Engage.
Yeah.
So that's what we can do. Okay, I think we're good, Peter. So get some sleep.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself. I'm sorry that you had to spend 2 hours, but you did a great job, dude.
3 hours. Okay. Thank you very much, Peter.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right.
Good.
See you, buddy. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully that worked out. Here's the particle editing system. And then we could look at the SMS and the editor there. So that is something we could do Gesundheit on our end here. I just don't want to like waste his time because he's very, very good at what he does.
Particle system.
Yeah, so here's the particle system editor
Yeah,
here.
okay. And
Yep, so cloud, contrail, and all that stuff. But I think a lot of this stuff you can definitely figure out.
yes.
So I mean, we can guide you, but there's a point where you got to say like, okay, I'm going to purchase a model and I'm going to look at the documentation and I'm going to do this and do this. So I can give you like the general guidance, or he can give you the general guidance, but at some point you got to sit down and really
Yeah.
bang it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a break.
Mhm.
So what time is it?
No, it is for lunch now.
Oh, it's lunch now?
No.
No.
I shall see here. Okay.
Okay, so we'll take a break and then
Yeah.
we'll get back into it, and we could look at his models and bring them in. But I would highly recommend, we look at the documentation for adding models and then look at the
Maybe later you will recover for the export on ShareFile.
well, I got to say I did that already. So I kind of went through all that, loading that into that program. And hopefully he loaded the program that I pointed him to and downloaded it. But literally you take that shapefile, you load it, and then you can modify it. So I went through, I'm not kidding. I went through all that
Oh,
stuff.
no. So
Yeah. So if I go through it again, it's like we're gonna waste today
Okay.
on doing
Okay,
that.
trong export ShareFile đó ý là ông bảo ông chỉ rồi ấy.
Yeah.
Không nhớ. Export các
So-
cái how cây trước sang ShareFile thì mình export lại.
Đâu, đấy là từ Quickit thì em biết rồi. Tức là từ Quickit sang thì là mình
Có ShareFile gì đấy sang kia tạo ra được cây cối nhà cửa trong đấy rồi đúng không?
Vâng, thì
Yeah.
là trong Quickit thôi. Chứ
À,
vừa nãy ông
yeah.
bảo là ngược lại từ
Okay.
Verifort ra xếp file.
From QGIS ShareFile into Mac, but export the reason from Verifort to ShareFile.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I swear I went through all this. So I went to the Ala Moana terrain and
Yeah. Export it.
found that, opened it up, edited it, saved it out.
Then
So-
re-import again.
Yeah. But this is kind of where so this is what I would say. You guys say, I want this area. You find that area, you get it in UTM, you get the shape files in UTM, and then you modify it the way you want to. But that's what I would do as a customer. I would say, I want this area. This is good data that I found in this area. And then you guide the way we guide you is by saying, here, look at this file. This is the way we did it here. So this is the alamoana.earth. If I open this, this has got find.shape, and this has got area. That's an area. That's a point.
Okay.
So this is structures. So if I go and look at this under features, structures,
Right here.
yeah, it's right there. So this, I would then look at the information here: train configuration, train. I think it's features. Where is it? Look at the
Yeah.
Train
I see,
data.
I see.
got it.
Alex, here.
Okay.
Here that means we want to export data when you put the prop in Verifort and then we export it as ShareFile in
Yes.
Verifort.
Yeah. So I can show you what we got. Like this is what we got, and and you can load it if he's got to have that program if he wants to modify it. So he's got to go download that program. So I'm gonna let's do this again. So we're gonna say data. I'm gonna go through data, and then we're gonna go through
Terrain Hawaii feature.
yeah. Where is it? Train Hawaii.
Terrain Hawaii
Hawaii features. All right. So let's find this. There's the file.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to take that file and drag it into here. And so this is
I see.
all the data that's in here.
Yeah, I see.
And then I can select it, and I think it's select feature by value, and I think I can get information on that. So there is my type,
Okay.
concrete structure, and I can the length of it, the rotation of it.
Okay. I know.
So I can modify any of this and then save it out,
Yeah.
or add it. So let's change it,
Okay.
change
I know.
one of these, and then
Okay.
modify it. It's in its current level. Yeah, rotation. I think we can edit this.
Mm.
Layer property. So this tool will get you what you need. I mean, I'm not an expert at it, but I'm going to be able to take it and modify it.
In the QGIS,
Yes. So I
the
think,
problem is we don't know how to export from via force to this file.
well, all I did was just copy it in there. So yes, I just copied. I just went like this. I just moved in there.
How to make the structure point file?
Okay.
How
So
to get it?
so you should be able to find an area, and it should have these shape files. Or
as I during the discussion with Peter,
Yeah.
you see, we in the force here, you drop some, you put
Yep.
some tree here, and then how we can
Okay.
export it?
so he
What I mean.
went and created
A prop,
no, he created a
choose a prop. No?
nope. He went here and he went all the way down here and defined it by
No, the area.
yeah, he defined
I
an
know
area,
the
but
area.
he did it through
The area.
yeah,
Technical,
but not
technical graphic.
yep. So he's using a tactical graphics. Let me see if I can find it.
Area.
Yep. Area, extruded area of operation area. So
No, area.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is going to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah. And
So-
then we can export it.
Yeah. So then,
How we can export it? See?
yeah, there's a way to export this. But he right-clicked.
No.
Yeah, it might not be the right area. So let me see if I got terrain. Cover.
Yeah. Area.
Yeah, let me just see if I can find it. Agent area. Vegetation. Shape. Let's see if that's. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, I'll have to ask him, but he definitely went over this. We'll have to look at
Okay.
the what he did, but obstacle. Dynamic terrain area. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Area of interest, smoke.
Okay, it is the first one that means we export an area,
Yeah,
and then the second is when you put some rock, tree or house, and then you export it
Yep.
as shape file.
yes.
There's one prop, no?
Yeah.
Prop.
So let's just find those points. I'll define a point or something like that. Point. Point, cover point.
Point,
New
no.
point. Yeah.
I think we have to go to prop, and then we put.
Yeah, I don't.
tree or house.
Yeah, we did that definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to emulate what he did here to export this, and he might have done it in Vantage. Let's look at Vantage. If I can find that.
Vantage.
Yeah, let's see if this will work. Maybe this is where you define it. I think he was using Vantage when he did this. Okay, but this is definitely so that's the point. Ala Moana. Let me close that
Yes.
here.
Yeah, I know.
New project, discard, and then I'm gonna go into the file here, look for .shape, find next. Those are all points. This is an area, features Ala Moana, structures area, and these are the extruded files. So I'll go here, search. All right, so these are the Ala Moana shapes.
Yes.
And I don't know of a way that I can do.
From here, how we can choose the house here and export it as
Yeah.
file.
Well, it's already a shapefile. So
Yeah.
these houses are already shapefile. So these are
Yeah.
points, and that's what I'm showing you here. So you can edit these and define these. So let's look at the
Here we can modify it.
yeah. So these are all the lists of all the shapes and their height and everything
Okay.
like that.
Max mean height.
Yeah.
No.
So these are all the shapes in that, and you can modify them this way. But this is all imported data from one of the websites.
Yeah. Now,
So
public sheet map also.
yeah, so it's publicly accessed. So that's how you get it
Yeah.
to modify it.
Okay.
There's
This way I know.
yeah.
But the way that interstates we export, drop as shapefile, and then we
Yep.
import it.
Yeah, so let's
To keep the frame small.
this is export
Drop and
props
shapefile.
shapefile.
Yeah.
So let's see if that works. Actually, I think I could do add like buildings or something like that.
Mhm.
But there was a way that he defined that area, which seemed a little bit more interesting. So it's going to ask me a bunch of questions. I don't think this is going to give me file export props to shapefile terrain Hawaii features. We'll just call this test.
Trong cái
And
prompt ra để nhà nào chờ hỏi.
save. It created these files. We go here,
Own prompt.
and we're going to go there, and I'm going to sort by date modified. It's going to give me what I want. Test A, TEST.
Many things.
Yeah, so it gave me all this stuff here. We'll select this. Gesundheit. I'm going to file new discard. And close that. Drag this. So I kind of I exported all the stuff that's in here. So these are just the location of the vegetation. And shapes, area, props. Test A vegetation. Test A. Test A, vegetation, buildings.
No, in turn off vegetation.
Uh,
Turn it off.
yeah, I got
Check.
it. I got it. I don't think this is clear.
Yeah, it
Một
is
lúc
not
đây
yet.
thì nó sẽ hiểu là cả nhà là
Let's
Nó
cả
tất
cây.
cả luôn. Xuất tất cả những cái gì mà nó đang có phải trong đấy luôn.
Nếu mà như thế thì vẫn phải lưu địa hình
Không phải.
That's
Sau
what
đấy
I got.
mình làm mình sau đó mình import your shape file.
So this is the same files. See
Lúc đấy
that?
là mình không lưu địa hình.
See that right there?
Mình xuất ra kia thôi.
Shape file.
That's these
Xong mình sẽ
buildings.
tạo theo đường dẫn là
So test building
Yeah.
point are these buildings here. See it? See it?
Cho đến đấy luôn.
cây nó lộ.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see. You can
Yeah.
import.
Yeah, so it's exporting these other props that are out here.
House
So
of houses.
yeah, so
Yeah,
let's go ahead and export that again. So we'll add in other stuff, and I'll add something like that so it's very obvious. Do file, terrain, export props to shapes file. We're going to go terrain, Hawaii, features, and I'll say, I'll just do test A again.
B.
You want B? B,
Make it different.
save. And it did it. So let's project, close, discard, and close. And we'll look here. Test A, test B,
UV.
building, shapefile. So there's
Yeah.
my,
Okay.
and I didn't orient those things anyway. So they
Yeah.
basically, if I get information on that, they're all oriented, heading is 0, so I could change that to 67 or something like that.
I see.
Save that again, and that's gonna export those values. And I think I can export roads as well. I don't know. Road. So I can define a road like this. There's my road and terrain profile task. Let's do, yeah, let's see if I can terrain, export. I wonder if this will work. I wish there was a way I could just select this one and export this. Oh, God. It just crashed on me. Crashed.
Nhưng mà từ đi file này mà xuất ra file đó là đường cái ngon quá không được.
The road we have, it is not road from OpenStreetMap.
No, this is,
Yeah.
this I don't think, this is not defined as roads from OpenStreetMap. Yeah, this is strictly just files. But other trains we do have from OpenStreetMap. So let me delete all these props here. I'm just gonna delete them all. But you know, this is where you guys kind of have to find the train you want and find the information. You know, we could only give you so much or get you so far.
Số area
That's deleted.
xếp hai em biết số rồi để nhìn được đó.
Now overlay.
Rain.
Can you tick for area?
Folder
Can you tick? No, area. He says that he remember how to export area.
Okay.
And then
How do you do that? This one?
technical graphic
area.
area
Yeah.
area
No.
Okay. Then, there we go. Excellent. All right. So terrain configuration.
Now it's terrain.
Yeah.
Terrain data, Hawaii and
Let's go back. Terrain data. So this is shared data, terrain data, terrain, Hawaii, features, and that's just the area. We'll just call this area. Oh, area A, save, see what this looks like. Project. We're going to close the current project, close, discard, close, search. Area A. Oh, I got AA on there.
area.
Yeah. So that is that. Okay. That worked. That's that.
So is it okay when we import it?
So let's try the road. Let's see what the road does. Export. And this we'll just call this new road shapefile. Save. And I'm just going to drag that in here with this. Road, new road, and you can see I've kind of messed it up a little bit. Where is it?
No. You turn off area.
Yeah, I don't see it. New road. Ooh.
No.
I didn't have it selected.
Roll.
Yeah, I don't think I have it selected.
Export only technical graphic only.
Yeah. Area. I don't know if that went. I don't think I've got that.
See,
it's
got terrain.
Yeah, you're right. So it's only technical graphics. So let's go here. Area. Let me define. Let me get rid of this one. So you're right. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna say plus tactical graphics. Close that. See if we can make a route. Route tactical graphics. Route.
Yeah.
Turn off the area. Let me delete that area actually.
Okay.
Delete. We'll just select that and see. We'll call this road. Oops, my caps lock is on. Road, and we'll say, I'll just call it path. See if that works. Save. Here, I'm gonna close this. Close. Discard. And let's paste in the area. Yeah, so we're gonna put this one in. I want to see that. Okay. So that's my initial shape, and then we'll do road, path, shape. There it is.
Okay. Can you see the information?
Yeah, path. It should be a series of points. Information.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, it's only,
Language.
yeah, it's
Interpretation.
length. There's probably gonna be better data
It
than this.
cannot interpret,
Look, give me a second.
cannot understand it is wrong.
Như này vào trong thì nó sẽ không trở được.
I think it can. I think we just need to define it. Open attributes table. I just need series set by location, set feature value.
Yeah, it is not for wrong.
Type of this route. I think what we need to do is look at the way another road is defined and then just mimic what way this is done.
So parameter attribute is different.
Yeah, but we would just need to change it to get it to work. Open attribute table, open select value features. Rotation 0. It should define like a series of points in here. Rows.
Cái prop chỉ tay nó sau đó mình xuất ra.
Yeah, so you can export the props, and the props are literally points.
Chứ không phải nỗ lực vào trong kia mình em tương chồng thì chồng mình xuất ra mình bóp vào.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this and just see if there's anything defined. Yeah, this is all binary. But
Em kết nối xong một lần đấy, kiếm tắt em nó về cái edge.
so this is what I would do. Pick an area of Hanoi.
Yes.
You already have the base that we've started with, right? And then pick an area, put in roads, put in buildings, and see if you can get that to work well. So, and then utilize the structure of the way it's done in the example terrain that he pointed out.
Yeah.
So I would say, here's Hanoi. I want to work on this little area here. I'm going to put in buildings. I'm going to put in roads. The roads are going to flatten. That's what I would do. And then see if you can find a river that's kind of like a road, and see if you can get that to flatten and look like a river. But I think we've got areas that do look like rivers. So I'm going to say new scenario here. I'm going to disable that. And I think he called it example. Yes. Okay. And then look at that. And then we could look at it the way he did, which was here, features Hawaii latest. So let's go to latest train data, train configuration.
The last one.
Features. The right one. See what this one looks like. We might have to hunt around for this. That file does not exist. Features. Open.
Bạn mới vào đây bạn thấy anh hỏi có cái spectacle là nó đang phản ứng mình, phản ứng rồi nó còn sóng nó về chiếu bầu trời đây. Mình không phòng năng thì nó sẽ đấy. Ban bảng mình không làm ra bếp các thứ thì bây giờ sẽ gửi lại thì bạn rồi. Lúc đấy nó đến trong vòng 5 lâu nó phải cấp cho được rồi.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Giống như cái cũ mình
Dot Earth.
cái khối lên phần đầu làm 408 xong luôn cuối nó lại bằng chậm nhắc lại là
Okay. This is where I would say I'm going to use. So I would use our mock.earth, okay, because it's got everything. It's got the sky, it's got the oceans, it's got everything in it. And then I would gradually start adding buildings to it, adding roads, and then modifying, like this has got roads here. Well, let's look at, how this road is defined. Okay. But I would definitely make a backup of that file, because if you don't do that, you could definitely. So let's look at the way they define the roads here. And so here's the composite terrain features road dot shape. Copy that. I'm going to find that here. I'll paste.
no, not here. Terrain example.
There we go. Okay. Sneaky.
No compose. Terrain compose. Okay.
Thank you. Features. There we go. Let's look at that in this program. I'm going to throw that in here, and it's probably going to be very far away.
Double click.
Yeah.
Double click. No, double click there.
Yeah. I'm not going to do
Cannot
that.
go.
Let me, yeah, I need to just close. It's literally on the other side of the earth. Discard, close. There we go. So that's the way the roads look like.
Okay.
Yeah. And so literally all they are is routes.
Okay.
So if you make all those routes and define it in an area of Hanoi, we could add that in there and then flatten it. So I'm sure he's got the flatten, like defining it, secondary bridge style. Minimum level. So I would focus on taking something that we've got that's in your area. So that would be mock earth, adding roads to it, exporting them as a shapefile, and then sort of combining it together. Like that's what I would do. I would focus on. So we already have the base layer of Hanoi. It's already got vegetation. Well, add to it. Add to it, and just make it look better. That's what I would do. I wouldn't. I think the issue that we're having, and I was trying to express to you, is that if you're starting with somebody else's data, you've got to figure out a way to convert it. Like if it's in flat Earth,
You cannot.
you can, but I would not, because it's going to be in some funky, like I was trying to just talk you guys out of it. I know you got it, but it did to me. It didn't look very good. I would start with our stuff. We've already got the satellite imagery. Perhaps you can get him to find like hey, I've made a block in Hanoi, and I'm just going to put that here. I'm going to define that area, put it there, be good. That's what I would do. I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Just build what we've got.
Yeah.
And stick with the same, in some sort of formula that's close to that can be converted into geocentric.
In fact, we have done before with our own data. We made in some area, like some example we saw it. We load data, we wrote.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would.
When I work with land cover.
Yeah, I would use that. So I think he's even got that defined here, right there, bio.
Bio.
Yeah. So let's look at this file here. Include example.
Complicated.
Yeah, it's extremely complicated. So
I see.
yeah, so here's the roads. The roads looks very simple,
Mhm.
and you could literally just create the roads and then their width. It will not look exactly right. Like so the best thing to get it to do is to get him to find like I bet online there's something that says Hanoi model, Hanoi city model FBX. So if somebody has already done this. Re-download Hanoi 3D models. I would just spend the money. Hanoi City, Vietnam City. I would kind of go. I would do
What is
this.
it?
$3.
But here, what is this?
Yeah, this is Turbo Squid.
Script that means
Yeah.
3D model.
Yeah.
Not
So
a shape by
yeah, it's an STL. It also comes in FBX. So this is pretty much what you're looking for. Spend $3, pull that data in, like yeah, and then you can make it pretty, or you can add it to our stuff. It doesn't look like it's got all the buildings in it. It's got the roads and things like that. Let's look at it's got some buildings, but we kind of have this already. We've got this already.
Yeah.
Let's go back out of that, but this is what I would do. Hanoi townhouse, Hanoi yellow house. That's too expensive.
Yeah.
Way too expensive. I wouldn't spend that. But if you can look at something, find it for $3. Cityscape Hanoi, Vietnam. Cityscape, $29. Like, let's see what this looks like.
Did we import it will be flatter?
I don't know.
That's because it is 3D model.
Yeah, it's
Well,
3D
that's
model.
shape.
More than likely, it's 3D.
Yeah,
But
everything here
but
is will be
find
flatter.
find something that's somebody has. I've always learned that on the internet, somebody has done exactly what you're thinking. So more than likely, you don't have to do the work to make it function. Let's see what this one is. City map. Oh, that's pricey. But this has got a lot of detail in it. Somebody put a lot of effort into this, but it's I don't want to. I can't see what it looks like. These are probably just you could build this yourself.
It is skyline.
Yeah.
They import from skyline.
Yeah. So that I wouldn't spend. So that's this doesn't have any textures. So I would start with r.earth file and build from there.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would add the roads, add buildings, using our collection of props, or he could add his own props and just go from there. So he's got a camera, right? He could go out and take pictures, build it. He knows the outline of it. So I would do that. So let's go. This is GUI load scenario, new scenario. I'm going to go to Mock Earth Online. Mock Earth Online, open, and just fly into Hanoi and find an area nearby and just.
Is it okay when we have the market online here, and say we can copy it into the local computer for use?
Yeah, you can.
For the cache.
Cache. You just
Yeah,
copy the
yes,
cache.
cache.
So all that cache.
Yeah.
You know where it is,
Cache.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. So mock forces app data cache.
Yeah.
So all that you would just move over there. And this, I haven't been here. I think I deleted my cache, kind of problem solve something. So it's gonna take a little bit. But I would find an area that you can define. Did I get the right one? Yeah, it's just taking a while. Okay.
But in cache there are many things. So how can we know which one is for some Earth
It
or file?
it will just load it. It's defined. So app data
can see.
cache.
You can
Yeah, there's
see.
a hierarchy.
Yeah, hierarchy now.
Yeah, so it's got
We don't know.
you know, this says Hawaii.
But
This is
for Mother's Online, which one? You are loading.
yeah. So this is I'm loading this
I
in.
don't see it's really difficult.
Virtual program, elevation worldwide. So it's probably here. But you know, you definitely know that this is Hawaii. This is some other stuff I was working on. World elevation, bathymetry, you know. So I think you could probably figure it out. Where am I? I'm gonna go here. See if this will load. But so we've already got this data. So you already got the ground. You don't have to deal with that. You already have a lot of the plants. Sorry, it's loading. So you've already defined what the plants look like. You've got some buildings that are coming in. So this doesn't look very good.
Yeah, not very good.
Yeah. So I would pick an area that you can build up, you can make it look good and go from there. I mean, let's see what this looks like. So you got water defined here.
Là mình có thể bắt đầu để mình xóa nhưng để mình làm
Xóa các dữ liệu đi.
không mình sẽ cho thêm
Đấy, tôi lúc anh đang hỏi ông thì tìm trong cái cache của nó đâu là Mothers. Mình chỉ có nốt lúc đầu tiên thôi. Xong mình biết được là nó nốt là những gì.
Yeah. Let's see if this comes in a little bit better. So we know this is a road, right?
Yes.
So maybe we can define this as a road and export this as a shapefile. Yeah, so I think in Hanoi, these buildings are like this, and we really don't have buildings. Yeah, we don't define that very well. So you would need to define those buildings. So let's do this. So there's a lot of information here.
Yes.
So let's go here and we'll say route. And I'll just make a route here. Work. Thinking. Still thinking. If that came across. It feels like it's still pulling in the terrain.
Yes.
So there we go. Yeah, it's still literally, it's still pulling in the altitude of that. So that's my route. I could make that into a road. So we'll do here, tactical graphics, navigation area.
You can make it a road here.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Export. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go to.
Let's define new one.
Okay.
No terrain.
Yeah, we'll go to terrain. New folder. Should I do it HANOI?
Yes.
That works for you?
Yes.
Okay. and I call this HANOI. We'll say road 1. I'll just say road 1. Something to define it. Hit OK. All right.
Yeah.
Now I need to go into the
Begins.
yeah, let's go into mock data
Shade it.
flight latest train data terrain.
What's the rate?
Well, I got to look at, so there's Hanoi, but I need to look at mock Earth Online and configuration. Give me a second here. MAK. And I think there's a space Earth, mock Earth.
Online. In the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I want to
Like
dot.
Earth.
I want to dot Earth.
No, in the middle. You see? Yes. Under.
Okay, there we go. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so this is a lot in here, so I don't think there's a shape file in here. Let's look for roads. Include roads XML.
Now it is picture.
Yeah.
No process.
If there's anything else on roads, Kilo 2 XML. Let's find something else. I want XML. I'm just trying to find something that's a bit more. Let's pick this up top. Fix Kilo 2 XML. Roads Kilo 2. Sorry, I might have to go to the restroom for a second. Oh, where's that located? All right, I'm gonna hit the restroom. So.
Okay. Chưa.
I think that's probably the way out of the
Có khi cái thằng này bảo em đến được. Được. Cách này, thằng này mình xử lý được. Phương vào chiều tập trung vào cái kia.
Kinh quá. Online đây đi. Nó cứ đổ hết tràn lan đấy.
Từ bây giờ nó cứ đổ không nhưng mà
nhà không rơi.
công ty nhất cũng xung lên ở thành luôn. Có lây ở đấy
Đánh nó quá khoảng xếp file tất cả có thể xếp lại. Với độ đẹp.
về cái mặt của qua đây chi tiết một việc xây dựng là phải quy trình xây dựng cơ sở dữ liệu ba d. Chúcคุณcòn cái link down để xem. Có thể sâu hơn. Okay, so we can work with this.
You think so?
Yeah. But Alex,
Yes.
when you open this, can you check why when why is it overlap between building and the street? The overlap. Let's see. This tree it will separate. But with tree here, we put buildings and no tree.
It's probably still loaded.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's still coming. What's the issue? It shouldn't be.
Yeah, so the building with some tree between overlap.
Yeah, it's probably that the building just comes right through the tree or something like that. I don't know. I'd wait until it all comes in. It's still probably, if you keep moving around it, it'll take a while. So just focus on one area. Here are the two roads.
Này thì cũng một cái này
Chưa hiểu được cái thứ.
So we have only this afternoon, the last one.
Say it
The
again.
training,
Yeah, this is the last day.
the last day. Yeah.
Yep.
So he really need you to work for the engage office.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So a lot of, I mean, you guys are kind of, a lot of this like is under engineering services. So I would say,
Yeah.
if you want this stuff to really work well, if you want a terrain, if you want models, I would look at, paying us to do this for you. You know what I mean? Because I can guide you, but when it comes to like doing it, either you work at it and make it happen, or you ask us like, hey, like I need this done.
This
Yeah, because a lot of what you're covering is very hard to do. So that articulated, it seems really easy, but you're gonna get into problems like that terrain. If you're not a terrain expert, there's little catches that's gonna follow. Like just like what we're dealing with here. It's like, oh, how come that didn't work? And it's like, so I would work at it or look at like, hey, this is what I need. I need people with boxes that are doing this, and like try to figure out a project for us to work on, and we'll do it for you. Like that. That's kind of where I would go. It's like and that would I would call like engineering services, but really define it. Like, don't be general. Like, hey,
Okay.
I
Have
kind of
to
want this and I
specify.
kind of want that. Yeah, you got to say, I want this area.
Mhm.
I want people to unload and load boxes here out of these type of trucks, and I want like surface area missiles. Like, try to tell me what you want. You know, it can't just be kind of vague. I that's what I would do. If that works, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yep. Road kilo 2. So I'm going to copy this. And that's the way I would handle it would be something along those lines. Kilo 2. Road kilo 2. Copy. There we go. Road kilo A. So this is loading that shapefile. Features California. So I'm going to change this to features kilo. So I'll go in here. So I'm going to take that file that I made and put it somewhere. Save that out. File save.
Terrain, California.
Yeah, I'll change that. I want to get this file out of here.
It's in terrain.
I got it. I gotta move that file to it.
Ah.
So I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna go to terrain data, and so terrain. Yeah, so I'll do new folder. Vietnam, and all those features. Let me just paste it here. Copy. There we go. 2, I need to paste that in there. Features, Vietnam features. Okay, that's features.
No. It is
Yeah, so I need to.
You need to copy shape file.
Yeah. You're right.
From
You're right.
California.
You're right. Well, it's the shapefile. I think is somewhere else. So
Yeah.
that's good right
Terrain
there.
data,
Yeah.
California. You see.
Yeah. Let me. This is here.
The
Kilo 2.
original-
Yeah, this needs to go back where I had it. X, and then we're gonna go
No,
back
no.
to.
It's wood one.
Well, I need the shapefile, but
Yeah, yeah.
I need this to be called on by the other file, which is Rhodes Hanoi. Yeah, this is where it gets. Yeah, and this needs to stay in the same directory as this because there is no
Okay.
path. So I'm gonna kill that. That's XML. Yeah, this is done. Let's kill that. Do not save. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna copy that. Actually, I'm gonna cut that. Cut Vietnam terrain data, terrain configuration. Paste that here because this has got the mock Earth
Like us.
online dot earth. Actually,
Yeah.
I got a space. Yep, there it is. All right, so it's there. Okay. And I should do date modified. There's my roads Hanoi. Let's go back here. Yes. Mark Earth online. And we're just going to copy this. So this is where you get,
No.
it gets entertaining.
Let's change to Hanoi.
Yeah, so I need to change that to Hanoi, which is here. So it's just a lot of configuration.
Yes.
And then I need to, it's good, we'll save that. And then I need to move, I'm gonna kill this. And then not save. Let me load that again so I'm not editing files that aren't there.
Yes.
And then this is where I add the shapefile that I exported from here, which is the, let's close this one. Close, discard. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Configuration.
Current data now.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see where I put this
Hanoi.
again.
Hanoi.
Yeah, let's export this. Hanoi Road.
Yeah. Current Hanoi.
Yeah.
Just copy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy that. And we're gonna go here. Paste.
Okay.
Save. Make sure that file is identical.
Now you
Features.
have copy Hanoi Road to picture.
Yeah, date,
Is that
train
fine?
data. Yeah, so it's not quite in the right place, but I need
Yeah.
to copy that out of there.
Okay. Just copy it.
But
Hanoi.
yep, give me a second. Give me a second. So I gotta go copy this. Yeah. This is the stuff that drives you a little crazy because it's like latest train data.
Sorry. Hanoi. Yes. Now.
All right.
Okay.
I got that. That should work. I'm just gonna cancel that. So let me save this scenario as.
I don't think it will make a road for you.
Well, we'll see. I gotta do some more work, but we gotta set up
Yeah, I see.
we gotta set up the
But the
groundwork.
attribute of the road and
Yeah. Yeah. So I need to kind of
yeah,
set
okay.
the stage so I can actually, import that in there. So, and then let's just verify that that actually has some value to it. So we're gonna go here. I don't think this has Hanoi in it, but I think we want Vietnam features Hanoi, and then I'm gonna copy this into here. There's my road.
This is an attribute.
Yep. So see what this does. But I could also load in the road from that I copied this from and see what that's saved as. So it's you kind of playing around with this a little bit to get this to work. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to work. I've saved this as Hanoi. I'm also going to save a view, and I'm going to make that the default set as default scenario view. Let's save. So I've got this in here.
Yes.
I'm going to close this and reload forces. It's closing. Come on. And one thing I could do is clear the cache. Okay, there it is. So now let's go to the cache. VR forces. Let's close all this stuff. Features. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go out of here. Go to mock forces app data. And I'm just going to put an underscore in front of this. Okay, so that saves the original cache, but then it'll regenerate it. That makes sense. So I'm going to do file VR forces. Yes. It's going to ask me what I want. Anyway, hit OK. So now that's going to load everything in fresh. App data. So if I cycle this, I got a new cache. Remember you said like what is it? Like
Let me see.
yeah, like where's the area? So now this is so here's the features.
Yes.
We'll see if the road comes in. I'm sure there's more I need to do to this to make this work. But it's got to load it all in from scratch. But this is literally should be that area. It loads the whole world.
Yes.
That the highest LD, and then I need to go to that area. Let's see if I get something out of this. This is the original layer that's there. That's the original route. But I've taken that, exported that as a shapefile, imported it back in the terrain. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I see a road.
No.
Still loading.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure.
And then we could also add props. I want to see something here. It should be a dirt road, I believe. Maybe.
No. Because you didn't define road, only save file.
Yeah.
Around here, it doesn't have attribute.
Well, in this file,
Let's see.
feature properties, feature name.
This is the feature name here. So
Yeah.
the attribute of the shape file doesn't have a big attribute for road. You have to put it.
Yeah. So you're right. So let me look at the other file and then see if I can
Open the
shape
sample,
file.
the sample shape file.
Yeah.
Kilo road.
Yep.
And then
Let's see, Vietnam terrain.
California.
Yep. Terrain data.
Feature. Kilo road.
Yep.
Set road. Is better to set road.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to get me what I want. There's a lot of kilo in here.
Yeah. No,
Road.
Kilo the set
Access road.
road. Is it okay?
Yeah, I don't.
Eltox Road, not Kilo.
Yeah, but it's Kilo 2. So this is what I copied.
Yeah. But
So
here is as a road here.
yeah,
Road only road 5.
yeah. If I look at road though, I think I'm gonna get.
Many.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't
Oh.
show up. So I'm looking at Kilo 2, Kilo 2, and I think I just need to look for it. There's a lot in here. Buildings.
Kilo is the road. Maybe easier. It's the road now. FFA.
Yeah, let me look at this. Let me look at star.shp. That's still a lot of stuff. And hopefully that is
Kilo.
maybe it is
Yeah.
access road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
So let's
With
let's do this. I've got this open here. Let's
no, yeah, you open. Delete it down. You can view attributes for each. No. You right click
yeah.
and you it move to
Open.
zoom to layer.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah, zoom to layer. No zoom.
Open attribute.
There we go.
You can view attributes. Click. You will see.
So it's a service road.
You have one way and width like this.
Yeah, width is 8. So let's look at this.
If it's a width and
Zoom to layer. Yeah, so this has got 8.
yeah, you don't have the width.
No, I have the width.
Width.
Yeah. So I need to edit that. Layer properties.
You should open database.
I'm wondering if it's in here at all.
No, attribute here. Open database. Yeah, and you can modify it. Edit. Okay. That's nothing. Add new row. No.
So I'm editing that name.
This we have one row.
Yeah, it's just a poorly written tool. Let me close this. Try it again. Information. So we got this there. Attribute table. Okay. Width 8. Okay. Length.
No.
8. Let me save that. Let me look at the other one. I'm gonna hit save here. Save edits. So it's funny, this went from that to that. Did you see that? The width. Save. Got some weird edit here. So let me kill this. Let me go back to Kilo, and I'm gonna take a picture of it. Layer 0. All right. Let me take a look at this. I wonder if I can copy these values.
Z cho mình tạo ra các cái trường đúng như thế được.
All right. So
Chuẩn bị thì copy một cái
close that. Yeah, it'd be great if we can copy that.
vẽ lên được với mình.
So zoom to layer. That's this. It doesn't quite have what I want. I wonder if there's a way to copy. No, yeah, it's completely different. Type, rotation width. Speed.
I have tried this before, so don't worry.
You've dealt
I
with
can
this.
do
before?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you do it?
Usually I just capture sample and then I copy and I make a new road.
Okay.
Copy a sample road and then I modify.
Okay.
Yeah. It
So-
will be better
So why don't we?
to make a new one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I can't edit this. Like I can't change this to this. You know what I mean? So
It is database. Database so
like I should be able to copy
yeah.
this, all these different files.
But it should be here is the structure of the database file.
Yeah.
So we have to create the field in database.
I wonder if I can take this. Is there a way I can take that and copy that in there? Or current fields. I wonder if I've got this selected, I can just
So
trace this.
structure it is different. The
Yeah.
file database structure it is different.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So import export. Okay. I'll have to figure out how to
Yeah.
some tools like this, like an engineer built, and it's
Mhm.
just not it works the way the engineer thinks. New shapefile layer. I wonder if I do a new layer and I can import system coding. I wonder there's look at all these different ways to do this. I'm gonna close that. New shape layer. That's selected. Yeah, this is I'm kind of doing dangerous stuff here
Yeah.
now. I could
So don't waste time for this.
yeah. Okay. But so anyway,
I understand this.
if you understand this better than me. But
I have
so-
done this with so far.
okay, so at the high level, we've created a new shapefile.
Okay.
It doesn't work, but
Mhm.
we can get it to work. We just need to make sure it's correct. We could probably take the Kilo 2, delete everything in it,
Mhm.
and then make a new shape that works with this road based on that.
Yes.
And that will have the right attributes.
Mhm.
And then he can also go in here and add buildings.
Okay.
So
You
yeah, so
can
this
make
is,
it.
yeah, so maybe you guys can also add I mean there's a lot of buildings here. Like some of this isn't too bad.
I
mean,
say it is a different kind of building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In Hanoi.
yeah, I would find an area that you want to build out,
Mhm.
add roads and make it look good, or go online and find a something that you could work from.
Yeah.
And that would just be so something like this,
Mhm.
it may not be in the real world, but
Mhm.
he would have a lot more control over.
Yes.
So he would be able to
Yeah. Mhm.
to do. I mean,
this.
or just like Vietnam. Like instead of Hanoi, I could do like you know, military airlines. I mean, Vietnam. This is gonna look.
I see.
It's bringing up this stuff here, like old
It's
time.
old.
Yeah, this is Ho Chi Minh.
Yes.
So this actually looks pretty good.
Mhm.
Very complicated. Yeah, sorry to say some of the cities are more popular than others. So this actually, I don't know. You could probably, it's probably very heavy,
Yes.
very heavy.
It's
See what else is in here. Yeah, a lot of you're gonna get a lot of the old time Vietnam stuff. But there's multiple pages on here. Oh, there was a missile.
you can do. Okay, maybe we can stop to have lunch now.
Okay.
For you.
Okay.